Let me see.
Eh? Presidente, muito bem, mas não, que se isso. So that's the name possible.
I don't-
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Yes, can you hear me?
It's happening in your area.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? I can hear you. For your audience can't hear you. That's a serious thing. Oh. Doesn't matter. My face doesn't show.
Please, if you can hear, so I can be sure you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can't hear you properly. Um,
Oh, oh.
guess I should use my on my Bluetooth.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you. The
Let me
voice is.
let me use earphone. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm using an earpiece. Wow, that means you can't hear me.
Try to say something. I should be able to hear you. Hello. Hello, sir. Okay, our guest just got locked out. I guess maybe his network or something. Hello, good evening, sir. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. I've been hearing you all this while. Can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you loud and clear
Oh,
as well.
that's fine. That's good. I'm glad about that.
All right. Thank you so much. It's good to have you back on Business Insights with Mark.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so while we wait for other people to join us, we are streaming live on Instagram, sorry, on Facebook right now. So, and it's likely for us to have questions over there. So we should be able to see the chat from here when we are done. So while that is connecting, I'm just going to give like 3 minutes for people to join us, right? Link and then see if we can connect on just this as well. So please just stay with me. Let me also tell people, let's ring our people that we are live. So if you are watching us from, please feel free to share sorry, from YouTube, feel free to share the link with your friends, business owner like you, that you want them to partake from this live section. So by 8:15, we are going to start properly in less than 8:15 so that we can quickly share this. Okay. Um, okay. All right. So let's start. All right. So good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business Insights with Marv for the month of July. Okay, and I have here with me our guest speaker and Mr. Shimaruke Nwanji, which is a chartered accountant and a tax practitioner and an auditor, right? So I think it was the first person we have on our live section when we started Business Insight with Marv. And I remember we talked about tax responsibility as a business owner. So if this is your first time of joining our live section on Business Insights with Marv, you're welcome. My own name is Saka Maria Abiodun. I'm the founder of MAP Corporate, registered as MAP 29 Concept on CAC. And this is a monthly section that we do to educate ourselves on different um, different aspects, not only tasks. We've done topic like we've talked on email marketing, on business structure. I think there was a time we actually read a book that we are business owners and we did the review together. So many topics. If you go to the Instagram or YouTube, you'll see some of these recorded version of what I talked about. And today, we all know that there is a new tax reform system by the process, right, before now. And we think that it's actually just okay for us to educate our audience, to let owners know the benefits, what you need to do, and all those things. So, and that is why we have our guest speaker, which is Mr. Shimaruke Nwaji. Again, like I said, is a chartered accountant and also an associate of member of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, which is CITN. He's also an associate of tax practitioner of Lagos, ATPL, and an associate member of the Society of West African Internal Audit Practitioners. I mean, there is a whole lot. He's the head of audit in the IT solution company tax system, one of the founding director of ICANN Accredited Tuition Center, and all that. So I'm taking time to, introduce him properly so that you can know that we are privileged to have somebody like him to join us to tell us what we should look out for. So if you have any questions, like the way we do, if you have any questions, all you need to do is to just send it to on the group chat. Sorry, that if you are watching on Instagram, sorry, on YouTube, you can drop it there. I can see some requests over here. So I don't know if you actually shared the link I shared with you, with people.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that's actually a guest link,
Oh,
not the one for. Yes.
oh,
I can see we have a lot of people using that link. So I'm going to share you the YouTube link. No, it's okay. It's okay. So that you can be able to talk. If I add them, it means that all of us, it will be like a panel something. So which we actually did not plan for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share you the YouTube link. The YouTube link is what we are going to use for them so that let me just quickly do that before we start officially. So you can please help me share it with Miss Wumi. I can see Wumi and somebody here. Send you the link, sir. You can check
okay. I will do that.
Okay. Okay. So I don't know why Instagram for no reason is not connecting to this particular live. Instagram is always behind. This is always the issue. We always have on Instagram. I really don't know what's going on. But however, we still do what we should do. Let me just try one more time. All right. So back to here. We are starting officially now.
All right.
There's an echo I'm hearing. I don't know if you can hear the echo two times.
I can hear you. I believe you can hear me too.
Okay. Okay, I can hear you now.
All right.
Okay. So our first question, people have been wanting to know, did you tax reforms for business owners and how they can means for them? I mean, the key highlights of the new Nigerian tax reform. So, what should they look out for in this new tax reform?
Okay, the new tax reform is compounded into what we call the Nigerian Tax Act of 2025. Now, this Tax Act, which is now a law in Nigeria, was signed into law on June 26, 2025 by President Bola Tinubu, and he signed four landmark tax statutes, namely the Nigerian Tax Act, which is called NTA, the Tax Administration Act, which is called NTAA, the Nigeria Revenue, which is called NRCA, and the Joint Revenue called JRBA. Is going to be replacing the current service, and the Joint Revenue Board is to be replacing the Joint Tax Board. All of these reforms we are going to be discussing today will take effect from January 1, 2026. What are some of the key highlights of this tax act? First of all, there is a consolidation of taxes, and so it merges the Company Income Tax Act, the Personal Income Tax Act, the Value Added Tax, the Capital Gains Tax, the Petroleum Profit Tax, the Stamp Duty, and some other laws into one unified law. And it simplifies compliance, it reduces overlapping in legislation. Now, because of this merging of laws, we have just a few laws that we can comply with. In this current tax regime, we have over 60 laws. 60 is pay compress, it makes it comply with. When there are multiple taxes, that's very, very difficult. Now, what are some of the things that you can find out in the laws that concerns the business environment? First of all, if you are a businessman operating in this business space today, you'll find out that the tax rate in Nigeria is 3. I say 3 because there are three business groups. We have the small businesses, which is known by having a revenue of between 0 naira up to 25 million. This group, their tax rate is 0. Then we have those ones from 25 million to 100 million. This group are called the medium business. Their tax rate is 20%. And those above 100 million, they are the big taxpayers, the large taxpayers. Their tax rate is 30%. Now, what this new law does is to remove the medium taxpayers, and they enlarge the threshold So instead of pegging it at 25 million to 50 million, what does it implies? I did a calculation of what revenue will make you have 50 million. Now, imagine in a month, your gross turnover in a month is 2 million naira every month. That would have mean that if you have if you run a 5 day a week business, you would have spent 100,000 naira a day, a business day, for 20 business days to get 2 million naira a month. Now, 2 million naira a month as your gross turnover multiplied by 12 months gives you just 48 million, which is less than 50 million. So, if for businesses who have 2 million naira average every month, you are still within a small business. And what does that imply for you? Your tax rate is 0%. Now, there is no medium-sized business, because once you have hit 50 million, you become a large business owner. Now, there is also another caveat for the small size business. Now, the caveat is this: for you to qualify, your gross revenue must be lower than 50 million. Also, your net assets should be less than 250 million. Once you can meet that criteria, then you are a small businessman. But if you meet only one of it, only just one, then you cannot be said to be a small business. So it means that if your fixed assets, not net assets, rather your fixed assets, if it is above 25 million, rather, no, 250 million, if it is above that, and your gross turnover is less than 50, you'll still be seen as a big business, and you'll be paying the tax rate of 30%. But once you meet these two criteria, then you are within the small business sphere. Not only that, if you are a professional, if you are giving professional service, for example, I run a tax professional service, I run an accounting and audit professional service. Now, I may not be making 50 million in a year. The law says that the fact that you are an accountant, a lawyer, and every other profession giving professional service, you fall on the big business. And so you have to pay the big business taxes. Now, this is just one of them. The second thing here is that, look at, apart from company income tax, you have also other taxes, like you pay education tax, you pay what again? Naseni, you pay police tax, and every other thing that comes with the filing. All of them have their own percentage. They have all now been compressed into just one tax called development levy, and the rate is 4%. So development levy is the only tax that is not associated with the company income tax. So normally you don't pay education tax anymore, you don't pay all these other smaller tax, just your CIT and your development levy. Now it has compressed all of this into just that development levy. What is more, if you are registered as a limited company, you have two advantages. One, your company can stand differently from you as an individual. Secondly, your company is a different tax entity. Your company will not be paying tax if it earns less than 50 million naira every year. But what about you as an individual that is being taxed in your name? If you earn 1 million naira in a year, you are going to pay tax to the uh, state, but to the state, you are going to pay your state tax, but the federal tax which your company is being charged to, you are going to be exempt. So you can see some of the things now. The impact is that they want more businesses to come so that the economy of the country will be, more economic driven, more production, more activity, so that the economy will be improved. And so they are giving out these waivers so that it will make the economic and business atmosphere to boom. But one thing is sure, if you are an employee in the current dispensation, you start paying tax from 30,000 in a year, 300,000 in a year. So the first 300,000 normally is being taxed at 7%. But sometimes, if you don't have up to the 300,000 and you fall under the under the minimum wage, you will not pay tax. Under the new tax law, if your taxable income for the whole year is 800,000, then the first 800,000 of your taxable income will not be charged to tax. Then the next one, so it means that for people who are earning, let me do a simple
Sorry,
arithmetic.
excuse me, sir.
All right.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with
Okay,
you.
please just give me a minute. And for those who are joining on Instagram, please, you need to join us on YouTube. We will not connect the streaming live on YouTube to our Instagram. So you need to join on.
Okay. Can I can I be heard?
Sorry, 1 minute, sir.
Oh,
All right. So when we were talking about, you mentioned okay, thank you. I'm back.
sorry?
About the. Can you,
Yes, I can hear you.
all
I can
right.
hear you.
You talked about small business owners to make 50 million naira.
Yes.
That if you are not doing up to 50 million naira, they will be paying tax.
Yes, if you're not doing up to 50 million naira in a year, you will be exempt from tax. That means your tax rate is 0%.
Okay, so what that means is that from 25 million,
Okay,
it
so
was
what that
initially
means is
25
that
million
from
before.
25 million, it was
So
initially 25 million before.
Yes.
So it's
it's now
now
50 million, right?
50 million, right?
Yes.
All right. So, but it's still going to be a normal
All right.
filing
So we're
or
still going
filing
to be
at
normal
zero.
filing
What
or
we are doing
filing
at
at zero.
FIRS, is
What
that
we
it?
are doing at FIRS.
I didn't get your question, sorry.
My question is that
My
before
question
we
is
are
that
doing 50 million, so we
before
are
we are
doing
doing
25
50 million,
million.
so we are doing 25 million.
Now it's now 50 million.
Now
If
it's
you're doing
now
up to
50
50
million.
million, you are not
If you're doing up to 50 million,
filing
you are not
that. You're not going to
that you're
be
not going
paying
to be
your
paying your
tax.
tax.
You'll be filing
You'll be
at
paying
zero.
at zero.
Yes. So what happened is this. Because you have been registered for VAT, uh, there will be a way that you will be exempt from paying VAT. So it means that if you have registered on Tax Pro Max, two things will happen. It's either automated, the Tax Pro Max every month will show you that you have zero tax to file. So that means your VAT obligation has been removed a small business. But for you, because people are professionals, for us, because we are not seen as small business, you have to file. But if your line of business people are big business, but you are a small business and you have registered for Tax Pro Max and it shows up for you, there is a way you can do it that you'll be exempt from tax. So it means that from VAT, that means you have to choose your VAT category. Is it VATable? Is it VAT exempt? And is it zero rated? So when you choose all that, even though you declare your revenue, it will show you that you are paying zero VAT. Now, speaking about VAT, now the speaking about VAT, the new Tax Act has made it so friendly in the sense that many people file their VAT that are VATable, file their VAT and do not get input VAT. So you might buy an equipment and you cannot claim input VAT, but you are charging output VAT and only remitting to government, meaning that what you uh, what you suffered cannot be recouped. And sometimes these items too are VAT exempt for you. They are VAT exempt, and some of them have now been placed on the zero rated VAT, meaning that if you pay input VAT on these ones and you are giving it out without VAT, you can claim back your VAT that you suffered. So they now made it a possible for people to have input VAT claimed by them so that it can be netted off with the output VAT. So you've collected money from people, you are paying to the government. What about the one you suffered? So you have to remove the one you suffered first and pay the difference to government. But up till now, in the old dispensation, it has been difficult. But the new one, the it's going to be easy. And that is why beginning August 1, the big businesses, the large tax players, they have been, given the chance to have a feel of the the FIRS's website on how to use VAT invoice and how to integrate their business to use the FIRS invoice so that you will be captured, your transactions will be captured by their portal so that when you are issuing VAT, when you are suffering VAT too, this can be clearly seen. So it's not a matter of bring documentations. The whole thing is being seen. Your invoice you suffered, VAT is being seen there. The one you are issuing and collecting VAT is all being seen. So beginning August 1, big businesses are encouraged to start using it. But it will become much mandatory January 1. So you see, this is a whole lot of tax improvement, trying to make the business atmosphere to be a friendly one, so that, like the president always say, we can tax fruits when they are ripe and not seeds when they are still nurturing.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for that breakdown.
All
You
right, thank you so
mentioned
much, sir, for that.
a new
A
platform
new platform
from August 1st. Those who will
will
be doing their
will be
work,
there.
also using FIRS for this particular new tax reform.
New
Yes,
tax reform.
the platform is not a new thing. It's still Tax Pro Max, but it is structured in a way where you are going to be um all your sales, as you are giving out receipts to your customers, it will be recorded all there. So it is not enough to give manual receipts to your customers. It is not enough to use your accounting software such as QuickBooks or Sage, or those that are using Dynamics 365 and all others, to give a receipt to or invoice to your customers. You now have to integrate the FIRS platform into it, and so that it will not be a duplication of effort. But the thing is, after doing that, you need to come to the platform and do it again, so that whatever stock you have in your system, say you bought 1,000 pieces of equipment to sell, or let's say phones to sell, you record it inside the FRS portal. When you sell 50 and you give out invoice, come there and come and issue out the invoice. So that means you will know who you are issuing it out to. Their tax ID will be, coming up, so that it will be identifying those who are suffering the input VAT, which is your output VAT. Now, it is also reducing your stock, such that when you are preparing your financial accounts and you are saying, my closing balance, my closing stock, let's say is 100, when the person in FIRS, his closing stock, he is saying the same thing. If he's not saying the same thing, if he's saying something higher, it means that there are some receipts that you must have issued manually without using the FRS platform, and that will not count for you. Or you went to buy items and you failed to record it, and you are saying that your closing stock is maybe 100, FRS is saying 10. And so, you know what closing stock does to your account? It lowers your profit. If it is high closing stock, it lowers your profit, but now it is increasing your profit because it didn't integrate it into the system. So, this is one of the ways FIRS is also using tax to check tax avoidance and especially tax evasion. So, that platform is mainly for big players, because these are the ones that will be charged VAT, these are the ones that will be charged T and other taxes that is within the threshold.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
sir.
much.
That this new
Now,
tax reform
this
is
new
actually focused on
platform
revenue driven for the government or for economic focus.
Okay, so normally when we teach people tax, we say that intentions or the aims and objective of taxation is to generate revenue for the government. right? That is one of the first things we teach people. It's revenue generation. But looking at these reforms, it is more of economic driven than revenue. Why? Because if you are to follow on revenue driven, you'll be taxing fruits, you'll be taxing seeds, you'll be taxing everything. You are not giving the small businesses the chance to grow. And most people, when they start businesses, statistics shows that some business will not move more than 3 years. It is other bills, taxes kills businesses. For them to grow, exempt them from taxes. So you are raising the bar, which small businesses may not be meeting at that time, so that they can grow. When they grow up to that level, they can now pay tax. So imagine when people earning revenue of up to 50 million will not pay tax. That means it is not revenue driven for the government. It is to balance the economy so that they will not be wasting time running after the small taxpayers, forcing them to pay tax. They should be running after the big boys, making them to pay tax. Looking at it again, for the income earners, personal income earners, like salary earners, instead of taxing the first 300 at 7%, then the next 500 at 11%, that means 1,100, sorry, the first 300 at 7%, the next 300 at 11%, that is, you have taxed 600 thousand naira at 7 plus 9%. You are still taxing the next 500. But if you look at the new tax regime, the first 800,000 is charged zero. So from 801,000 down to 2,200,000 to be charged at 15%. Then the next level ends at 9 million, charged at 18%. Previously, if you are earning up to 3,200,000 and above, you will be charged 24%. But now you see 9 million, you are still charged at 18%. 13 million, you are charged at 21%. 25 million is just 23%. And above 50 million is at 25%. So you can see now that this is not about revenue generation for government. They want the economy to be balanced. They want the poor to breathe so that when they now become big people, they can pay tax. So I would say this not revenue driven, but economic centric.
If you can hear us,
If you can hear us,
say hello,
please can you say hello?
because I can
Because I
see
can see a comment where someone said they can't hear you.
I want
Wow.
to be sure we
I
are.
want to be sure we are.
But you can hear me, right? If you can hear me, they should hear me.
Okay, I think they can hear you
Okay,
now.
I
I
think we
can
can
see
hear you now.
someone
I
saying
can see
wait under the
someone
system.
with a
All right, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much,
So my
sir.
next
So my
question
next
is this:
question
is
is
about
about
online, those who
online, those who
sell
sell
online,
online,
digital
digital
businesses,
businesses,
freelancing,
freelancing,
freelancers, and all
freelancers, and
that.
all that.
How do you
How do
actually
you
think
think
these people
these people
can?
can,
How do I? I
how
want
do
to.
I
I want to be sure I structure my
structure
question
my
very
question
well.
very well?
You know, when you
You know,
are
when
working
you're
online,
working
you believe
online, you
that you
believe
don't
that
have
you
a
don't
shop.
need,
Just working from home, you
you're
don't need
just
to pay
working from
tax.
home. You don't need to pay tax.
And looking at the new
And looking at
CAC
the new
AI
CAC
integrated, what CAC
integrated,
are
what
doing,
is doing,
the new tax reform
the new
system
tax
using
reform
our
system
link
using
and
our
every
link
transaction
and
coming
every
in.
transaction coming in.
How do you
How
think
do
this
you think this
online
online
business owners
business owners
fitting into
fitting into this
new tax reform?
tax reform?
All
Are
right.
they going to be
Going to be
exempted, or
exempted or
it will not be a mandatory
So
reform?
this question goes beyond what you are saying. So I'll try and keep it kind of between what you are saying. First of all, online business people, it is now a law that you must register your business before you can carry out business, be it business name or company. If you are carrying on a trade, be in physical trade or online trade, without a CAC certificate, it is illegal. Now, for you to register your business, CAC will require an address, a contact address, a business address. You cannot just go and tell them that my business is online. When they ask you your contact address, you cannot just give them Facebook. You must give them a contact address, a business address. So at best, your home address becomes your business address, because where are you showcasing, where are you texting for, where are you showing all your videos, where are you showcasing your product? It's in your house. So you may claim you don't have an office, but your house is an office. And that is even better because it will save you from several multiple taxes that you get when you are established outside. Save you from paying rent twice. Some people keep one corner of the house and make it their business. Now you are online. You are also doing what they call digital services or digital assets. For example, you have cryptocurrency, you also have even running a website. These are digital assets. Or regime that pays the capital gains tax on this, because the new tax act says that if cryptocurrencies are being sold and digital assets, they will also suffer the capital gains tax. Now, because you are doing business online, this is business without borders. It can happen, business without borders. For example, we are here enjoying the services of Google, enjoying the services of YouTube, enjoying Zoom. They are all something that we can access online. We have antivirus in our computers. Some of them we bought them online. Now, where is the service created? The service is created somewhere outside Nigeria. Where is the service being enjoyed? The service is being enjoyed in Nigeria. And so it now kind of brings what they call base erosion and profit shifting. I don't want to use technical terms. It has to do with uh, some kind of tax evasion issues, whereby a, a value somewhere and you are not paying tax, enjoyed, you are paying tax, or vice versa. Some people use to do some anti-avoidance for themselves. So the issue about businesses that do not have offices is still, you know, is still covered. But the thing is that whether you have office or not, you will still have to pay tax, at least from your revenue. Your bank statement can prove your revenue, whether you have business office or not. From your revenue, you can pay income tax or your personal income names. So you can't run away from it because you don't have an office.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Because we have a lot of people being under the
We have
umbrella
a lot of
of
people
I don't have
being
physical
under the
office.
umbrella
please, I don't have anything to do with it and all that. So yeah, I think we have more clarity as regarding that. Now, my next question is based on penalties and the enforcement. So, do we have
Okay.
higher penalty from what we had initially, and there are no reforms, or is still the same rate of penalty that we're looking at?
Okay. So penalties are what governments do to make people to comply. And the thing is this, if there are no penalties, people will not do the right thing. And also, change is difficult to embrace. And so in order to make people to embrace this change, because people spend money trying to dodge to pay tax, they make a living out of it. And so some people will likely want to break the law, either legally or otherwise, and think they can get away. For example, VAT. You charge someone VAT and this person has paid you and has suffered input VAT, whereas you have not uh, paid the VAT to the government. That is penalty. Also, look at somebody who for tax or register for his business name so that he will not come under the tax regime. Here that you are going to be paying twice more than someone who is doing the right thing. So there should be a reward for doing the right thing. There should be a penalty for somebody who refused to do the right thing. So as long as your business remain unregistered, you don't have a team so that you can be identified, you will be paying double of what you are supposed to be paying. So that when you now come under the tax regime, you will now it will make you to come under the tax regime. In fact, the laws is trying to favor people who are doing the right thing. It's also trying to favor people who are registered as limited companies because the government also believe that from business name you can grow to limited company, and so they want you to uh, suffers a little somehow because the benefits you get from business name is not as much as you will get with limited. So when you now enter into the limited sphere and you grow to 25 million and 50 million, you can now start paying tax. But the thing is, if you do the wrong thing, the penalty is waiting for you, especially for VAT and withholding tax. These are consumption tax, and because these are gotten every month, people run away from that, and they are making stringent policies to ensure that these taxes are not being evaded. So they punishment for those who try to evade. Unlike the company income tax that is being paid once in a year, these are not much of their focus. That's why they are running after the big people who they can't run away from that. But for VAT and withholding tax, everybody who is involved, if you are owing, if you refuse to file, if you refuse to remit, if you refuse to deduct, then there's a penalty for you.
Wow, thank you so much. Um, my next questions, please, if you have a question, kindly drop it in the comment section. Please drop your question in the comment section. We're going to read that out. So for now, I think this should be the second to the last question I'm going to be asking. Do you think business owners will be check randomly.
check randomly.
Will it be more stricter?
It's more stricter.
What I mean is that
What I mean is that
starting from January
starting
1st,
from January
2026,
1st, 2026,
do you think we have
do you
issues
think we
like
have
companies
issues like companies
taxes officers coming into
officers coming
businesses
into
to
businesses
talk about the
talk
tax
about the
and know
tax
what
and
and what
know
they
what
are not
and what
doing
they
right?
are not doing
Like, would
right?
there be a
Like, would
random
there be
check?
a random check?
Okay, so one of the qualities of effective tax administration is proper check and at minimum cost. Now imagine if the tax officers go to every businesses every month, they'll be spending so much perhaps to get little. And so one of the things that they have done to make their tax collection administration um, less expensive is that website where you'll be filing FRS based, I will call it NRS based tax or based receipts. This is a way of checking companies online real time as against physically. With the coming in of AI and every other thing, it's time is coming whereby tax and with proof which you cannot refute. So going to pursue people for taxes is one of the things that will be reduced with this new tax act, because all effort is made to ensure that everybody plugs into the system. And when you plug into the system, it's also synonymous with you being in the tax net, and everything you do is openly exposed to taxpayers, to tax consult, to tax practitioner, tax administrators, and so you cannot hide again. Secondly, if you are also non-compliant, you are owing the tax authorities after a reasonable time, they can appoint even your bank to act as tax collection agent. What it means is that, let's say my company, Go Getter Professional Consult, is owing Lagos State Internal Revenue tax, let's say 20 million. And after 1 year, they can't collect it, 2 years, they can't collect it. What they will do is they can appoint my bank, let's say, for example, Zenith Bank, as the tax collection agent. And so they will carry the liability that's supposed to belong to me and bill it on them and collect their money. That is a last resort. Now it is the bank that will now recover those money from you, meaning that they can freeze your account, they can collect all the monies in your account, they can come now and sell off your assets and all that. So the tax authority is trying to use other effective means of getting their money from taxpayers who think they can run away. So they will look at your assets, they will look at where you have money and all that, because they can see all of these because of this integrated data system. They can see where you have your assets, where you have your money, and they can empower any of the agency to collect that tax on their behalf. And so that's it. There is no run or hiding place for any goldfish.
All right, thank you so much for that.
Alright, thank you so much for that.
So my next question is this. question: should
I
every
have a
business owner have a
question.
tax
Should
consultant
every business owner have a tax
or
consultant
accountant? Knowing fully
or
well that,
accountant?
okay, since
Fully well. Okay,
it's a new system, right?
it's a new
And
system,
some
right?
businesses who are doing the figures that they
Some
need to,
businesses who are
remit, they
doing
don't even know how to do accounting.
they don't even know
But
how
at
to
the
do
same
accounting.
time, they want to stay compliant.
But at the same
And
time,
looking
they
at
want
the
to stay
trend,
compliant. And looking at
tax consultants, accountants
accountants,
are charges are very high. So
accountants
what do you
are charging
advise these businesses to plug into to make it
plug
easier
into
for them?
to
Or
make
is
it easier for
the
them.
system is set up
Or
in
is
such a way that
the system
they can do it themselves without the
they
help
can
of
do
these
themselves without the help
accountants
of
or
accountants or
tax practitioners?
All
tax
right.
practitioners?
Okay. So the way I will answer it is this. It's just like saying because there is AI, there is Google, and if you are feeling somehow, instead of going to the hospital, you go online to check. You put your symptoms and you see different things, and they tell you take this, take that, and you take them. You may feel well, but you are not doing yourself good. So every business needs an accountant. Every business needs tax advice. So the best thing to do, first of all, is to get tax awareness, because this is something that is compulsory, and ignorance is not an excuse. So you need tax awareness. You need to learn also the basics of how to keep proper record, because now good proper recording will be of the greatest importance. Now, you need to learn how to do simple bookkeeping and simple accounting so that you can help yourself and reduce your cost. But you still need to file. That is where an accountant comes in. You prepare it with the accounting laws and principles. You still need to file. You still need to be charged to tax. And that is where the tax person comes in. What some people normally do is they have a retainership with these professionals, because many professionals who are tax professionals are also accounting professionals. So they have this retainership. Please, I'll be paying you XYZ amount of money. So let's take, for example, a tax consultant is being paid 30,000 naira by a businessman every month for coming to clean up his books each week or each month, pay his VAT, file every other thing. 30,000 you pay him to do all of that will save you 50,000 naira penalty on VAT. Which will you rather pay? 50,000 penalty on VAT or 30,000 naira retainership every month to an accountant who is going to do not only VAT, he also do accounting services for you and every other thing, so that at the end of the year you are clean. Imagine paying 30,000 times 12. That's how much? That is 360,000 a year. Imagine if this accountant have um, 10 people doing that for him, 10 small businesses. Now that means the accountants will now be focused on doing all of that instead of having multi jobs like some of us do. You'll be working here, having side hustle here, doing the so accountants and tax consultants, their role are important in the life of every business. If you don't have them, then your business is heading for a problem with the tax authorities. So we should not be kind of penny wise and pound foolish. That would be what I will refer to people who would like to, do it on their own without consulting tax practitioner. You can even negotiate how much to pay them. And so with small money, you are being saved legal battles, you are being made clean, and you have a tax clearance certificate that you are proud of, that you are being a patriotic citizen of Nigeria without cutting corners, and you are in the right side of the law. So consult, get your tax practitioners and your accountants now to do your work. And for those who have not,
I can't seem to hear you. Hello? Please, can everyone hear me? Can anyone
Please,
hear
can
me? If you
everyone
can
hear me?
hear
Can
me,
anyone
please
hear
let
me?
me.
Can hear me?
I think the problem might also come from my end, because as I'm talking, some calls were coming in
Oh,
to this. So yeah,
okay.
in some calls that
Thank you so much for that
Thank you so much
for
for
that
that
answers, and I'm
for that
sure we've
answer.
been able to
Yeah,
learn
I'm
so
sure
many
we'll
things.
be able to learn so many things.
Please, if you have a question,
Please, if you
please
have a
drop it in
question,
the
please
comment
drop it in
section.
the comment section.
So my last question for you,
So
sir,
my
is
last
this.
question for you, sir, is
What are the first three things you think
what
we
are the
should
first three
actually do
things you
after this
think
session
we
for
should
us to
actually
properly
do after
prepare
this
for this
session
new tax
for us
reform?
to properly prepare for this new
What
tax
are the things
reform?
you think,
What
as
are
a
the things
business
you think
owner,
as a business owner
we should
okay,
get ready for?
the first
we should
three
get ready for?
the first three things I would like you to do borders on compliance. I want to assume that many of the people listening are trading under a name which has not been registered. First of all, they should register it, because it is a criminal offense to trade without registering. So all your registrations, be it CAC, be it with FRS and the state internal revenue, be registered and be ready, first of all, by way of registration. The next thing to do is keep proper accounts. Keep proper accounts. So that will mean that you have your appropriate books. It could be a physical book, it could be on Excel, it could also be softwares. So it means you might have to get training on how to use this software. That is where you need the services of people whom you are, or employ someone that will be doing the end, bother yourself on that. That is where professionals like us come in. And the third one is tax planning. Now, tax planning is important, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You plan which taxes you want to pay, which do you not want to pay. Tax planning also involves when you want to register your business. If you are registering your business as a consulting firm, know that it is not going to be a small business. It is seen as a big business. So you can say, oh, I don't want to register and put consulting. The nature of business to be. This is a tax planning strategy. You can say, okay, I don't want to deal on vatable items. Let me deal on items that are VAT exempt or zero rated VAT. And so that way, you will not be bothering yourself about collecting VAT and paying VAT. Then you can also decide that you don't want to hire workers that you'll be paying payee, which will now make you to file payee on their behalf, file pension on their behalf. You may want to hire people on contract basis, so that when you pay them, you are only removing with. This is a tax planning strategy. Tax planning strategy will also make you to know where are all these taxes due, when are they due, what is the penalty, so that you can plan not to fall victim into paying of penalties when you pay later. And so these are the three things I will advise every person to do after hearing me. These are not difficult things to do. You just have to be a disciplined person. You just also need to also get professionals to advise you. Some could advise you for free, some could do it with just a small charge. I call it shaking money, and you will be compliant.
Thank you so much. As you can hear him,
So much.
you need
As you can hear
shikini
him,
money
you
to
need
be
money
compliant.
to be compliant.
I don't know if you have any question for our guests
I don't know if you have any question
before
for
we round
guests.
up. It's already an
Before
hour.
round up, it's already an hour.
So in the case you have a
So
question, you can
in
always
the
drop it in
case
my
you have a
DM.
question, you can always
I
drop
can
it
get
my
him to
DM.
answer for
I
us.
can get to answer for us.
And I'm also using this opportunity to
And I'm also
say
using
that
this opportunity to say that
he's a tax practitioner, which he
he's
can
a tax
help us to stay
practitioner, which he can
compliant.
help us to stay compliant.
If you need his service, kindly reach out.
If you
It's
need a
on
service,
Instagram.
kindly
You
reach
can
out.
also have his number.
On
You can send me a
Instagram,
DM.
you can also
I
add
can
his
send
number
his
here.
contact to you
I can send
so
his
that you
number
can
to you
talk to him from
so that
there.
you can talk to him from
Um,
there. Uh,
my Oga, thank you so much. I'm so
my Oga,
privileged and
thank you
so
so
honored
much.
to have you again on this live
I'm so
section.
honored to be on this live session.
Thank you so much too for selling my markets. Let me speak like an Igbo man for selling my markets. Yes. And also let me add to my market. Let me add to my market. If you also have people who are also writing ICANN exams, CITN exams, you can reach out to me, because we also own an ICANN accredited lecture center where we train people to become chartered accountants. Okay, so if you also need someone to also help you with Excel and Excel related matters, you can still reach out.
Thank you so much. And you can
Thank you
also
so much.
train,
And you can
right?
also
You
train,
can train
right?
with that for the
You can
basic
train
one
that for the basic one
that they need to
Yes,
stay
that you need to stay
compliant on.
yes,
online.
yes.
So my audience, I'm so
So
sorry,
my
my
audience,
voice
I'm
is
so
just a
sorry, my
little
voice is
I
just
didn't
I
actually
didn't actually
enjoy what is coming out.
enjoy what
But
is
I don't
coming
want
out.
to end the live
But I don't want
to
to end
start
the live.
again. So that's why I just have to keep it going. I'm really
So
so
that's
sorry about that. I will ensure that
I'm
we'll
so
do
sorry
better
about
next
that.
time.
I will ensure that we better next time.
Thank you so much, sir. And this will be the end of our live section.
Thank you so much,
Please, next
Sarah.
month,
With the
we're
end of
going
our
to
live
announce
session.
as early as
So
possible
to
to know what our topic will be on.
know what our topic will be on.
Okay.
Then the date and time as well.
And
Then
if
the
it is,
date and
All
time
right.
as well.
Thank you
and if
all.
it is
All
still
right.
about
Thank you
tax,
all.
I'll be glad to be here again.
Problem, trust me. I will still bring you up again. So we're still looking towards before the January 1st.
So we're
And
still
by
looking
January
towards
1st, we're going to have more
by
details.
January 1st, we're going to have
At least full-fledged of what the new
a
tax
full
reform
fledged
is
of
going to
what
be.
the new tax
And I'm
reform
sure
is
there
going
might
to
be
be.
some more
And I'm
questions,
sure there might be some more
that we need
questions,
to be educated on.
that we
So
need to get further
by God's grace, we'll bring
by
you
God's
again on
grace.
board
We'll bring
to
you
help
on
us
board
answer some questions.
to help us answer some questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
It's
all.
your girl, Sakamari. If you have not
Now,
subscribed to
if you
our
have not
YouTube channel,
subscribed to our channel,
on Instagram,
on
Mark
Instagram,
Corporate.
Mark
On
Corporate.
TikTok, Mark Corporate.
On
We'll see you next month. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. until you have me again.
Yes, sir.
Signing out now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for having me.
Yes, sir.